When an unexpected expense lands in your lap right between paychecks, finding a quick safety net becomes a top priority. Cash advance apps like Grid Money have surged in popularity because they promise fast access to short-term funds without the high interest rates or rigid credit checks typical of traditional loans. However, understanding how the Grid Money advance approval process actually works and why approvals or limits can fluctuate is essential before relying on it for your financial planning. Unlike a traditional lender, Grid Money does not check your FICO credit score or perform a hard pull on your credit report. Instead, the approval process relies entirely on algorithmic risk assessment tied to your linked checking account. When you sign up and connect your primary bank account, Grid evaluates your financial habits behind the scenes. The main factors that determine whether you get approved and how much you can borrow include consistent direct deposit activity, your average daily balance, your spending patterns, and your overall account history. When you apply, initial approval limits are typically lower, often starting under $50 or $100. The maximum advance limit on Grid goes up to $200, but reaching that top tier requires time and demonstrated reliability. Grid operates a tier or level system where every successful, on-time repayment of a previous advance gradually unlocks higher advance limits over time. The main fear or anxiety users face with cash advance apps is sudden rejection or a sudden drop in their available advance limit right when they need money most. Because Grid evaluates eligibility dynamically, you might be approved for an advance 1 week and denied the next, even if your income remains relatively stable. Common triggers for approval denials include a recent dip in your average balance, erratic deposit timing, negative bank balances or overdraft fees, or unpaid balances on other advance platforms. Another common point of confusion is the repayment buffer. After paying back in advance, Grid often requires up to 3 business days for the funds to fully settle before letting you request another advance. Understanding the cost structure is another important piece of the equation. Grid charges a monthly subscription fee, typically around $10, to access its services, including cash advances and tax refund tools like PayBoost. While standard delivery of approved funds is free and takes a few business days, instant transfers usually incur a small additional fee. To maximize your chances of smooth approval and higher limits on Grid Money, take these actionable steps. First, connect your primary checking account where your regular paycheck or steady income is deposited. Avoid connecting secondary accounts with low activity, as this will lead to automatic rejections. Second, maintain a positive cushion in your bank account to avoid overdraft signals that trigger high-risk flags in Grid's algorithm. Third, always ensure your repayment dates align with your actual payday so your automatic repayments clear smoothly. Finally, remember that cash advances are best treated as emergency bridges, not recurring income replacements, to keep your overall personal finances on solid ground.